Suddenly, Shion looked around as if something had caught her eye. Her head bobbed to and fro like she was making sure nothing had changed. What's wrong, Shion?
I'm sorry. Please don't worry about it.
Shion pretended as though nothing had happened. Takano-san also made sure nothing had happened, then cleared her throat and broached the next subject. Was she looking around? Someone listening?
I explained that half of the villagers have demon blood. That blood, they actually say that it's the blood of the kind of demon that eats people.
Man-eating demons. That escalated quickly.
That blood still runs through the villagers' veins. They say that sometimes the blood awakens from its slumber.
Thought the fairy tale had a happy ending with the humans and demons living in peace and making babies and all sorts of fun things. But it began to suddenly change into a brutal, bloody story.
Well, they eat people. They say that every decade or so they can't help but want to feast on human flesh. The villagers can't eat other villagers. So when this happens, it's said that they descended on the human villages and conducted onikakushi.
What's an onikakushi?
Broadly speaking, it's when
It's not right.
it's when a demon kidnaps someone. When a person is demoned away. They say that the villagers of Onikafuki would overwhelm unfortunate human villages in order to kidnap sacrifices.
Takano-san's explanation was plain and simple, but when I imagined what it must have been like, it was terrifying. They lose their human reason. Villagers turn into real demons en masse. They attack the villages they loathe in the dirty, dirty world of the masses below. And then they kill and eat their sacrifices. So they're no different from demons after all. What did Oyashiro-sama do? Wasn't he supposed to be staying in the village and watching over them?
Oyashiro-sama knew about it, of course. Onikakushi isn't indiscriminate. The villagers apparently never kidnapped anyone other than the sacrifices decided upon by their god. In the text, it's usually one or two people. A village inhabited by those both human and inhuman.
It's like the heartwarming episode's colors had inverted like negative film, revealing the painful and ugly truth.
So on the nights when they raided villages, they would feast on their kidnapped sacrifices, which is why the nights came to be known as Watanagashi.
Watanagashi. Tonight's festival was Watanagashi. I just couldn't reconcile the fun festival with the horrible tale Takano-san was telling me. Watanagashi, well, wasn't it about giving thanks to the futons we use over the winter or something?
Kai-chan, Wata has another meaning, you know. Means entrails.
Shion, who had been silent until now, spoke up. Entrails? Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Like fish guts. Wait, what? Like a jigsaw puzzle, the fun times I had today and Takano-san's grotesque tale clicked together in my mind. The hoe beating she's making swiping motions like a scythe or a hoe. Watch Nagashi so gut spilling. I didn't think saying that could ever feel so nauseating.
Yes, it's as you imagine, my Barakun. Right now, the Watanagashi festival might just be a somewhat early summer festival occurring every June, but it used to be different. It used to be a ghastly, cannibalistic feast held on the night the villagers had collected their unfortunate dinner.
That can't be true! Shion, do you have cannibal blood running in your veins? This is why she's so evil and conniving. That can't be true. I had no real reason to say that, but I couldn't help it.
My Barakun, you said the Watanagashi is a ritual about purifying futons, right? What do you think the futons filled with cotton, with Wata, represent?
Wait a minute. Is that wool? Wait a minute. Wata... I vaguely remember finding That might be... Oh, well, duh, cotton. Right, yeah, okay. Futons are futons! They're beds! They're things for sleeping in. What else could they possibly represent? Rattling on, desperately attempting to deny the horrible festival that Takano-san was describing. Deep down, however, I found myself understanding all too well what she meant. Futons stuffed with cotton. The con represented entrails in both pronunciation and meaning. Then entrail-filled futons would have to be humans.
Why don't you think back to the offertory dance Rika-chan performed? Do you know what she was doing up there?
No, I don't. I didn't even watch the whole thing anyway. Shion! Shh!
Kai-chan, you're getting too worked up.
Shion grabbed one of my ears, reminding me that this wasn't somewhere I should raise my voice. Even so, I still can't suppress this agitation I feel.
Rika-chan was carrying a festival hoe. You probably realized it already, but that's not a hoe for plowing fields. It's a tool for dissecting human bodies.
I didn't see the dance all the way through, so I don't know what kind of performance Rika-chan was putting on after I left. When I told this to Takano-san, she kindly explained Rika-chan's dance to me. To summarize what she said after what I'd seen, Rika-chan would pierce the futons with that hoe, cut them open, and pull out the cotton inside. She'd cut the cotton out and one bit at a time and set it afloat. That's the kind of ritual it was. She'd eat it.
Broadly speaking, it's quite the bombastic ceremony where they'd rip out the guts and throw them into a basin, and then the ritual was over.
So I thought that.
It's thought that afterwards, the villagers, each with a different role, dismantled the flesh piece by piece and feasted upon it. Hee hee.
Takano-san's strangely happy giggle I felt for some reason violent displeasure. Rika-chan, every day during our lunch break, she'd take a rice-pounding mallet to the schoolyard right up frickin'. She'd worked so hard sweating bullets to practice for the offertory dance she had done today. All that effort, all that work. Takano-san disgraced it. Even though she worked so hard to practice for today. Just beating someone with a hammer. Oh my god, little Rico, no.
Takano-san, I think you should choose your words more carefully. Kai-chan's pretty naive, so please don't tease him so much.
A moment before I opened my mouth to express how angry I was, Shion stopped me. Shion must have been fully aware of how that story made me feel.
I'm sorry. I thought you'd like a story with that sort of shock value since you're a boy.
Kansan spoke without a hint of malice as she smiled gracefully.
After hearing all that, did you figure out what kind of stuff is in the storehouse? Kai-chan, see, look.
Shion pointed out one of the walls vaguely illuminated by the lantern's light. There it was. Mere moments ago, they hadn't held my interest. They were just boring-looking tools lined up on the shelves. Ugh. Rather than a blacksmith, it's gonna look like a butcher shop, isn't it? Yeah. All those uninteresting tools that I didn't understand how to use, they all suddenly took on a new meaning, and I couldn't help but let out a groan. Oh. Firstly, it looked like carpentry tools, like chisels or planes. However, when I thought back, I'd seen pictures of these sorts of tools before. Yeah, they came up in Japanese history textbooks. Yes, on the page introducing the my eyes. Introducing the Kaitai Shinsho, or the new text on anatomy. These sorts of things. They're printed realistically in the literature of Germany, capital of the medical world. Really? Okay. These aren't carpentry tools. These strangely shaped tools, they're for dissecting. Everyone knows that in the Edo period they would dissect the corpses of those who had been put to death in order to gain knowledge about Western medical techniques. Illustrations of the dissection tools they used at the time came up in textbook supplements. The thing hung up on this wall. Things all looked exactly the same as those.
If you want a scarier way of looking at it, think of them as cooking utensils. Hee hee.
Ugh. Takano-san holding the lantern, the only light source in the room, led us along the wall. She had the only light, so I had to walk after her whether I liked it or not.
Look!
Takano-san illuminated a coiled chain, which left a bigger impression than the other things we saw. The chain in itself was nothing unusual, but further along it were metal fetters that were like hinges, clearly meant for binding people.
Kai-chan! Look at that!
She untapped me on the shoulder and pointed to a restraining table that was clearly shaped like a person. My spine froze. My blood felt like it was turning into sherbet as it crawled up my back. On each of the joints there were things like chains and iron balls attached. It was like the table was searching for its next sacrifice, ready to spread their arms wide and close them in.
It's probably a chopping block. I think you'd strap the sacrifice down to prep them for eating.
Words chopping block sent a jolt through my body. When I looked more closely, there were many dark slices carved into it as though from a knife or a saw. They were the most clear-cut signs of usage you could ask for. It proved these tools weren't just for show. They were used for their original purpose. Someone was strapped tightly onto the table. They probably wouldn't be able to move even a muscle. Their guts would be defenseless. You take one of those eerie cooking knives lined up over there. Stab them with it. And then you slice open their bellies and dissect them. I'd heard the stories.
But this is incredible!
Before coming in here, Shion had mentioned she had a good guess of what was inside, but it seems to have exceeded... Oh, that was Shion talking.
I heard the stories, but this is incredible!
But it seems to have exceeded her imagination.
There's still more. How about it? More fascinating than a wax museum, isn't it?
Takano-san had this happy expression like she was visiting a toy store for the first time. I don't get it. This Mio Takano person has nerves of steel. Are these bizarre, grotesque objects that fascinating to her? I, for one, is not enjoying myself. I'll be frank. This is all too weird for me. Still, there was something even more horrifying than all of this. That would be none other than Takano-san herself. Takano-san holding the lantern, giving off such a thin beam of light. She suddenly turned it off. Then I would... What would I do when... The next moment everything went totally dark. That's why I was scared. Takano-san had the only light, and anyway, I was scared. At some point, Shion had started holding onto my shirt sleeve. It's a little annoying to walk like that, but I didn't shake her off. That minor sensation allowed me to feel the presence of an ally here and now. Before we had even walked halfway through the storehouse, the air I felt on my skin changed completely. These cruel tools lined up all crammed together in this place. Some were horrible ones made to take away sacrifices' freedoms, and some were tools made to efficiently disassemble and prepare the bodies for consumption. Those were just the things I understood. There were plenty of other strange-looking objects that I couldn't even guess the purpose of. Now that I was here, I didn't have the slightest desire to hear the details about what sort of terrifying reasons they were meant to be used for. At the very least, they were all completely different from the sort of clean, simple, killing function of a katana. Tools to kill people were obviously constructed in such a way that they could cure people. If that was the goal, then the person you used them on would, obviously, end up dead. The kinds of tools here, however, were different. The tools that were here were for cutting people, for crushing them, for boiling them and cooking them, and for grinding them. They were tools of torture. They weren't made to kill people. People dying was just an incidental result. And actually, they might not even kill them. If the sacrifices could die during such a horrifying ritual process, that would be nice, but they don't even die in the end. Whoop. Oh, double click. They remain in a state of hellish pain. Perhaps they were the only beings allowed to live. Only now in this moment did I fully realize just how terrifying and fearsome that difference was.
People, you see.
Whoops! How'd that work? What?
People, you see. Most of these wouldn't kill them if used properly.
Chikano-san, as if reading my mind, displayed a shocking smile.
Burning at the stake, the famous method of execution for witches, will kill the person immediately. When the body suffers extreme burns on the skin all over, the decomposition of the skin's chemical makeup produces poison-like symptoms and causes an immense shock to the victim.
Huh. Interesting.
Though I suppose it's still very cruel compared to the guillotine. You have to wait far longer for that to happen.
Oh yeah, the suspense. That's probably... what's worse, the suspense of a guillotine or being burned alive? Ugh. She describes such horrors in strangely medical ways. Well, she is a nurse. She immediately answered the question I had.
Takano-san is a nurse.
Wait, did we not know that? Am I remembering from the first game? Or what? I can't.
They're saying that nothing can scare a doctor. I guess it's true.
I suppose that makes sense. If you want to be a doctor or a nurse, you need an iron stomach, otherwise you won't be able to do procedures and such. Can't have that, hemophobia, fear of blood. Which is weird because I can think of two off the top of my mind in fiction that do. But we're still doctors, like Tsunade from Naruto. Anyways.
Oh, and also, there was a method of execution in ancient Rome where they would grill the person. Just like a barbecue.
Oh. I was gonna say, are they thinking of the one I'm thinking of? No. Honestly, that one's probably one of the worst tortures ever. I believe it was Greek.
Just like a barbecue, they would cover the person in wire netting and slowly cook them over a charcoal fire.
To think the memories of when I went to a day camp with my family would come rushing back now of all time so vividly. Just that. The hot dogs or the hamburgers or the steaks or what have you, just roasting on the chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. I know it's not Christmas time, but it just popped into my head like, let's roll with it. I believe it was Greek. I'm gonna look this up. God, and then there's the Chinese glass torture, which for a man you might as well be dead. Greek bull jumping god statue breathes name man torture. I think it was Greek. The brazen bull, yes. By the tyrant Phalaris. Yeah. The brazen bull, also known as the bronze bull. Brutal torture, an execution device allegedly used in ancient Greece. It was in Amnesia, wasn't it? I won't get into that, but if people would like to know, I can tell this story.
That's what it was like. Apparently they wouldn't die too easily for some reason. According to one source, even if they roasted one side of a person to a crisp for an entire night, they would still be conscious and able to speak fluently.
Dear God, that sounds awful. That's insane. You'd grill someone the whole day and they'd still be conscious. Oh, yeah.
So that the ancient Rome, famous for their executions, thought of plenty of ways to execute someone while having the victim stay alive as long as possible. Among them, there's one method where they would open the gut, pull out the intestines like sausages, pull them up with a winch, and put them on public for display.
Ooh, she's looking very not okay. Shion was behind me, clinging to me. Not just because she was scared. She was protecting her stomach. Yeah, I imagine.
You think someone with their intestines pulled out would die instantly, right?
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
Actually, as long as you do it tenderly and thoroughly, it's apparently possible to pull them all out while the person is still conscious.
I felt a sick feeling in my stomach. It was like my organs were coiling up just from Takano-san's stare.
Though pulling them out with a winch was a rather exaggerated method. In a more barbaric way, they might slice open the gut, then cut the intestines out and throw them everywhere. It's quite imaginable that they did dreadful things like that too, isn't it?
Or have dogs tear into them.
However, those being put to death are conscious. It must be far more terrifying than painful.
She spoke with pleasure as if she had come here on a sightseeing trip. I heard Shion gulping multiple times near my ears.
Perhaps Hinamizawa, or rather Onigafuki village, did something like that for the Watanagashi festival. Listen, if you try hard, can't you hear it?
Wanted nothing more than to not hear anything at all. So why only at times like these do I begin to hear things I shouldn't be able to? Normie! Okay. Takano-san, having realized she'd scared Shion and I enough at this point, smiled soothingly. Then she turned on her heel, raised the lantern, and began to walk again. If Takano-san left us here, we'd get even further away from the light. The fuck? Maybe there's no one there. I can't tell. Did I see something? God damn it. Okay, there was actually, okay, no, it's fine, oh my god, oh my fucking god, man, there actually was someone there, but it's someone I know, it's fine, it's opening another door in another room, oh my god, oh my fucking god. It's like, did someone break into the house? What's happening? Okay, now. No, it's fine. Everything's fine. I'm not. Oh, God. That was the worst timing possible. Whew. Where was I? Takano-san left us here. We'd get even further away from... Right, yeah, okay. She and I, no matter how scared we were forced to follow Takano-san along on her field trip through the ritual storehouse.
Suppose we've seen a bit of everything. See? This place is interesting, isn't it?
She says, raising the lantern high into the center of the storehouse. The dim lighting didn't change, but for some reason it felt like I was able to see all of those horrible tools at once.
Kaijin, look up!
Shion stammered while grabbing the nape of my neck. What am I...